Nina Carmichael, and we make these videos because you're probably the most ambitious person in your circle, but you know you're capable of more, and you need that push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, my husband Evan Carmichael, and learn how to stop caring about others' opinion. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Find out what you stand for.
The biggest hack to stop caring about other people's opinions, to stop living other people's version of your life, and to start actually feeling happy and proud of yourself, the biggest hack to doing that is to figure out what you stand for, to figure out your single most important core value. I believe that everybody has a single most important core value. And when you figure that out, it gives you a lot more clarity, a lot more direction, a lot more confidence, and allows you to start to do things that you never thought were possible. All of a sudden, that idea that you've got of, oh my gosh, I could do this thing, but then never taking action on it, things start to happen for you because you have that clarity of value. So I wrote 2 books on this, Your One Word and Built to Serve, and we go through the process of figuring out your one word or your who. Who are you? What do you stand for? What is that single most important core value? One of my favorite activities that I go through, I call it the 5 essential questions, but the most important one there, I find usually, is asking people, who was your favorite teacher growing up and why? So if you've understood the concept of, hey, I need to have a core value, I need to know what I stand for, I'm tired of being on quicksand, I'm tired of living other people's version of my life, okay, great. How do I figure it out? Do I just pick one at random? Do I just read a book? Like, how do I actually figure out what I stand for? Well, asking yourself that question, who your favorite teacher growing up was and why, I think is critical. Think about it. You've had how many teachers in your life? Think about your school, elementary school, high school, university, if you went to a college, other teachers you've had lots of teachers growing up. And chances are, most of your teachers, if you walked past them on a street corner, you wouldn't recognize them. That's how little of an impact they've had on you. Think about your high school teachers. If they walked past you right now, you wouldn't know who they were because they had no impact. But there's always that one teacher that stood out. There's one teacher that stood out for you. Why? It wasn't because they taught you grade 8 math. It's because they made you feel different as a human. They gave you something more than just a subject matter they were teaching. And that gives you a clue. Why did you like that teacher? Gives you a clue as to who you are and what you want to spread into other people. So, quick example. My favorite teacher growing up was Madame Farr. Madame Farr was my grade 12 French teacher. And I didn't love her because she taught me French. I barely use French on a day-to-day basis. What she taught me was to believe in myself. I was a B and C student going into my last year of high school, and she would meet with me every week. Before school started, once a week, we'd sit down, we'd chat, we'd talk about life, we'd talk about school, we'd talk about where I was at, we'd talk about what was on my mind, and in those conversations, she made me feel like I could do more. That her belief in me created more belief in myself. And in that last year, I went from being a B and C student to straight 90s, straight A+. I was still the same guy. I still had the same ability and the same talent. You know, she wasn't passing me the answers to the test that I had. It was just that belief in me that she gave me that allowed me to go off and start to perform more. So I think that's the most important question you can ask. Another one you can look at is, what was your favorite movie growing up and why? What's your favorite movie of all time? Why? There's so many movies that you've watched. Most of them you don't remember, but there's one that sticks out, that really stands out for you in some way for some reason. My favorite movie is Seabiscuit. It's about this horse that is way too small. It's about this jockey that's way too big. It's about this owner that's bankrupt. And somehow they all find each other and start winning a whole bunch of races when they shouldn't be. And it's based off of a true story, and it ended up lifting a nation. The people love this underdog story, and it's a story of belief. Same thing. It's a story of belief. We all, at least for me, I love the idea of being that Seabiscuit, or being the jockey, or being the owner, and helping not just each other believe in themselves, but also the nation, for the audience, for the fans, helping them believe in themselves. And so if you started asking those questions, if you started thinking about who are the people that make you come alive, that make you feel like you're a better person, or what are the resources, or what are the YouTube channels, or Instagram accounts, or books, or podcasts, or shows, what are the things that have made you come alive? What are the things that have made you feel like you could do more? And then next to each one, write down a couple of words. So your favorite teacher growing up, who was it? And then why? 3 words to explain why. Your favorite movie of all time, and then 3 words, why? And what you'll find is, as you do this exercise, you'll see some similar patterns. You'll see some words pop off the page. You'll see that same word come up a couple times. That's your who. That's your single most important core value. That's what you still need more of in your life right now, and that's what you want to give to the world. The other great part about it is that will be with you for life. This isn't something that we want to change. This is who you are. This is your best version of you. At my core, I'm the best when I believe in myself. And my biggest problem is still, I need to believe in myself more to get to the next level. When you figure out your most important core value, your who, your one word, it's still what you need right now. My biggest challenge right now is that I don't believe in myself to hit the next level. And it's what you want to give to the people around you. If you're watching this, you're probably an entrepreneur. You want to give to the world. You want to have a big mission. You have a big message. But some people, like Nina, who was just here, she doesn't have a big message, but she wants to help the closest people to her. We all want to feel like what we do matters. We all want to feel like we're having an impact on people, whether the closest people to us or to the world. But we're stuck and we're lost and we need guidance. And if you feel like you have all these ideas, but you don't know how they all make sense, and you don't know that you feel like it could be something, but you don't know how to get there, there's not enough momentum happening, it's because you're not in touch with your single most important core value. Here's an example. If I'm struggling to do something, I'm struggling to get on stage to speak, I'm struggling to turn on the camera to make a video for you, I'm struggling to launch my next project, I get an idea and then I say, I can't do that. What do I need? At the end of the day, what do I really need? Like, what's the thing that's going to turn that idea into actual action? I need more belief. And so when I can catch myself procrastinating, finding excuses, saying no when I shouldn't be, I can quickly reverse it by saying, Evan, you need to believe more in yourself, because that's at the core of who I am. And when I can catch it, then it gives me the courage to go off and do it, to record the video, to get on stage, to launch that project, to say yes, to say yes, to say yes. I think of Alex, who helps me run Toronto Dance Salsa. His who is belong. He needs to belong more with himself, and he needs to spread more belong to the world. And whenever he's not happy, and whenever he's not following through, and whenever he's not hitting his goals and doing the work, it's because he doesn't feel like he belongs. Doesn't feel like he belongs to himself, and he doesn't feel like he's spreading belong to the world. If you are stuck, if you are going too slow, if you have all of this unrealized potential inside you, the thing that is missing is you not following through on who you say you want to be. You're not matching that potential. How you make it practical is to figure out your who. Because every time you come back to that and say, I just need more of X, I need more hope, I need more freedom, I need more belief, I need more belong, I need more love, I need more care for myself, and then to spread it to the world. And when you can feel that, when you can actually feel that, it'll dramatically change how you show up. all of a sudden now you're making progress where you weren't before. You're accomplishing more in a day than you were in a year. You've released the chains. You've given yourself wings. You've given yourself the permission to actually go off and do the scary thing that's inside you, because now you know who you are. Figure out your one word. Figure out your who. Watch your life change.
Rule number 2, believe.
You go as far as you believe you can go. When the people around you say you're crazy, when you're putting in massive effort but you're not getting the results, where you sit alone and wonder, did you just make the biggest mistake of your life by starting this business? That is the time when most people quit, and you need to believe more. Because if you love this thing, if you know that it's going to impact people and you give up too soon, you will regret for the rest of your life knowing that you were capable of more and you just quit on it a little too early. So I look at my new book as an example. I did my tour across America, met with entrepreneurs all across America, and found that people were struggling with the same thing. They want to know, how do I find what my purpose is and turn it into a lucrative business? Every city that I went to, even though that was not the topic I was covering, it came up over and over and over and over again, 23 different cities. And so I thought, I'm gonna write a book on this. This is gonna be my next book. I'm gonna take people through the process because my process works and it helped people live in 10, 15 minutes, and they're getting new ideas and results. And here we go. Like they understand what path they need to take. Finally, they have clarity on what to do next. And so I told my agent and my lit agent, like, this is the next book I wanna write. We told publishers, this is the next book I'm gonna write. And from the start, it's been this big pull. It's been fighting. We don't like the title. We don't like the concept. No, we're not gonna publish it. No, we're not gonna publish it. And I wanna do it by January because I wanna do my next tour across the rest of the United States, East Coast, Texas, Mexico. I wanna do my next tour. So I wanna have my book in stores by that time. And it's been this rough slog, where if I didn't believe in myself that this was so important, with the people who are looking at it saying, nah, we don't like this concept. Nah, it's been written before. No, this method we don't believe in. It's easy to quit. It's easy to give up. It's easy to say, forget it. I just know that it's gonna work. I know that the process helps people. I've seen it with my eyes across 23 cities over 90 days. I wrote the draft of the book and I gave it to some beta readers. And the number one piece of advice from people who've read both my books, the Your One Word and then this, like this is the better book. This is the best book you've written so far, including my self-published ones. And so what do? I've got these people who are my audience who love it, and then these people who aren't my audience but who make decisions saying, nah, we don't believe in it. I'm not gonna quit. I gotta keep going. I gotta do my tour. There better be some crazy good reason for me not to do my tour, right? Even if I have to self-publish it. Now, I'm pretty close to making my deal, making it all happen and getting timelines and all that, but we don't have a signed contract yet and anything can happen. We're pushing the timelines because I'm pushing the timelines, because otherwise this thing could drag on forever. When you have an idea that you love, that you know can have a huge impact, that's just taking longer than you hoped it would. When people are telling you that it's crazy and that it's stupid and that who are you to go off and do this thing? If you love it, you have to double down on it. You have to go in on it. You have to be open to getting help, but if that door closes, you try to find another one. And that's the story of every successful person. You're trying to do something different. The book you're writing, the product you're making, the songs you're singing, the service you're providing is not a photocopy of anybody else's. It's unique, it's different, it's you. That's the best part of it. And so because it's different, people don't understand it, especially the people closest to you who are in something totally different. They have their set, stable, get a job mentality and likely hate their life. And here you are trying to do something totally outside the norm. So you're gonna get a lot of people who crap on your ideas. But if people who hate their life are then giving you career advice, why would you want to follow that? Have they done what you're trying to do? No, so do the opposite. And so I think it's really important to find ways to believe in yourself in these dark moments, when you don't have a support system, when you don't have people telling you that you're great, when you're doubting yourself. You need to have a method to help you believe in yourself. I've got 3 things that I use, and I'm going to share them with you, and hopefully they have an impact for you too. Number 1 is create your own 254. So I have a bunch of series on this channel called 254, where every day for 254 days, I send you a morning video around the topic that you care about. So for this one, Sarah Blakely, it's around girl boss. So if you're a woman entrepreneur, every day for 254 days, I'm gonna send you a morning video for free that profiles a different successful woman entrepreneur. So that if you're ever doubting yourself, if you ever feel not good enough because you're a woman entrepreneur, whatever story is going through your head, every day for 254 days, you've got an example that it is possible. You don't think it's possible, you don't believe, but then here's this person who's done it, and then another one, and then another one, and then another one. And it starts to shift your mindset that maybe it's possible for me too, to spread more belief. Now, I've only done, 6 254s or so. You create your own. What makes you feel like you believe in yourself? The reason why it's 254 days is because that's the maximum number of days it takes of consecutive action to build a habit. You want to drink water every day, it'll take at least 18 days. The average is 66 days to build a habit, and the worst is 254 days. The slowest learner takes 254 days to build that habit. So I want to be with you every step of the way in the courses that I'm making that are free. You make your own. I made my channel for me, because I want to be around these successful people. I want to learn from Sarah Blakely every day. I want to learn from Oprah Winfrey every day. I want to learn from Howard Schultz every day. These people that I look up to and respect, I want to be around them every day. It's why I created my content, selfishly for myself, and then I share it with you guys. So, if you want more believe, maybe my channel is good enough for you. Maybe you're already noticing the shift. Maybe you're part of one of the 254 series and you're watching every day, and I get emails every day from people saying, I notice myself getting more confident. I notice myself getting more bold. I notice myself having more belief in myself, right? But maybe I'm not the source for you. Maybe you have to go somewhere else. Awesome. What's the thing that makes you feel more believe, and then inject that into your daily routine every single day? Because if you're doing that for 254 days, you will come out on the other side a totally different person. You won't recognize the person who you are. You can look back on your life and say, man, that person 254 days ago is totally different than who I've grown to become. Right? It's the caterpillar becoming a butterfly, and I want that for you. So you need to create your own program. Number 2 is use the Quincy Jones rule. And Quincy Jones, we did a top 10 on him, where he had this beautiful line where he said,
"Not one drop of my self-worth depends on your acceptance of me."
I love that line so much. It's so true, because so many of the things that make us doubt ourselves are other people's opinions. And so the fact that not 1 ounce, not 1 drop, not 1 bit of my self-worth comes from your opinion of me, your thoughts about me, your judgment of me, is not something that you can just switch on, I don't think. But the more you listen to it, the more you tell yourself that, you start noticing that you care a little bit less about people's opinions. And that's one of the most common rules that successful people follow, is they don't care about what the haters think about them. They don't care about what other people's opinions are. Even if it's their parents who say don't do this, they decide I'm living my life. And so having that as a recurring theme, I find really helps. So follow the Quincy Jones rule. Remind yourself that you're great on your own, and you don't do anything because of somebody else's approval or opinion. And the third thing I remind myself of is be a tree. You're a tree. What does a tree do? A tree breathes in poison for humans, carbon dioxide, right? Breathes it in. Breathes it in, eats it, grows from it, and then spits out oxygen positivity for the world. And so I think that our role as entrepreneurs is actually to eat that negativity. This is your job. Your job is to eat the negativity, eat the hatred, eat the doubters, eat the people who are complaining, and say, I'm going to create something better. Here's what I'm going to do. And then you go off and do it. You take that, you eat it, you grow from it, and you create this amazing product or service that has a big impact. And then what you're doing is you spread hope. You spread possibility. You spread belief that other people can look to you and say, man, look at what that person did. Look at what she did. Look at what he did. I can do the same thing. I want to take a shot on myself too. Even the willingness to try is an inspiration. Even if you don't make it, even if you don't build some huge business, just the fact that you're willing to try is an inspiration to other people. And so when I see the negativity, when I see people hating on my ideas, when I see people saying that that's never going to work out, I tell myself, I'm a tree. Bring it. This is the best. Bring it. Give it more. Give it. I'm going to eat all that. I'm going to grow from it. I want it to be public so other people can see negativity coming at it. And here's how I'm going to react to it. And here's the product or service that I'm going to create. Spread more positivity. Spread more oxygen. Spread more belief. You're a tree. Also, if you want to have more self-confidence and self-belief, the science says it can take up to 254 days of consecutive action for you to shift that habit forward. So I've designed a special free program to help you get more self-belief, where every day
For 254 days, I will send you an email to an unlisted video that if you watch it, will shift your confidence forward. The links to join for free are in the description below.
You can use rejection as fuel to help you go off and do something bigger and motivation to, I'm going to prove them wrong. And you have an overview of what your book is all about, and you write into them. There's usually a general email address so you can connect with them. Surround yourself with greatness. If you want to be more confident, you need to surround yourself with things that make you feel confident.
Rule number 3, figured out your who.
If you want to stop living the life that other people want for you, you have to understand your most important core value. I call it your who. It's from my book, Built to Serve. And when you figure it out, it gives you the freedom to start living the life that you actually want to live. Decisions become easier, life becomes easier, and your confidence starts to skyrocket. And I'm going to tell you how to do it in this video. So my who is believe. My one word is believe. It comes from my parents. They're here on my wall behind me. I'm 8 or 9 years old in this picture, and my parents are above me, and they would always tell me I'm Evan Carmichael, that I can do anything that I believe that I can. My favorite movie is Seabiscuit, which is about this horse that is too small and a jockey that's too big and an owner that has no money, and somehow they all come together in the middle of the depression to create this amazing story. I love cheering for the underdog. I love the idea that if you just believe in yourself more, you're going to be able to create amazing things. And so believe is my one word, most important core value. It's my who. So once you figure that out, it gives you clarity over everything else in my life. So look at the videos that I make. It's always positive. All my videos are always positive. I always try to inject believe into everything that I do. Into this video right now, right here that you're watching. Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome. Thank you for watching. I always try to make it about belief. Now, I may not achieve it. I may not have done a good job. You may not be feeling believe after watching this, but it's always my intention going in. It's why I don't have negative videos. If I did the top 10 stupidest things that Jordan Peterson had said, or the top 10 fights between Kanye and whoever, that would actually blow up more. That would blow up more. People would rather consume negativity than positivity. I just don't want to make that video. It doesn't fill me up. It's not my purpose. It's not why I'm here creating the content that I'm creating. And so when you figure out what your one word is, when you figure out what your who is, your most important core value, it allows you to stay on the path to create the life that you want. So if you come to me with an opportunity that is not about believe, it's an easy no. Where otherwise it's, should I do it? I don't know. The money might be good, but it feels a little gross, right? It's an easier decision path. And if you're bringing people in to join your team, you now know what you're looking for. I need people who can, yes, video edit. Hey, Christina. But I also need people who believe and believe, right? Who want to help other people out. So having that clarity gives you the rock to stand on, because you're going to be pulled in a million different directions, right? Your parents want you to do something. Your friends want you to do something. The news wants you to do something. The people around you are all telling you, do this and do this and do this. And it's like, you don't know what to do. And you see somebody with confidence, somebody who's off chasing their dream, and it's easier just to say, well, I'm going to go and follow that person, where you could be an amazing leader yourself. The only thing missing is you don't know what you stand for. When you figure out your who, you've got the rock to stand on. When everybody else is on quicksand and drowning, you're on your rock and you know what you need to do. Okay, so what are the 5 questions you need to ask yourself to find your one word, most important core value, your who? You got a sneak peek. It's in my book, Built to Serve. I'm gonna find it. We're gonna go through them together. You can get the book if you want to go super detailed on it, but we're gonna turn in here. Hold on, it's coming. We're gonna turn in here to page 20 together. I call these the 5 essential questions, okay? So all of the good things that have happened in your life are connected. All the things that you love the most about your life are connected. And when you figure out what that connection is, that's your who. That's your most important core value. That's what you value more than other things. And now that you have clarity over that, you can project your life going forward and attract those things into your life, as opposed to having uncertainty and lack of clarity and just hoping that good things happen. So here are the 5 essential questions, okay? Number 1, who was your favorite teacher growing up and why? Right? Who was your favorite teacher growing up and why? Number 2, what is your favorite movie of all time? Number 3, what do you love most about how your parents raised you? Number 4, which successful person do you look up to and why? And number 5, what lessons do you want your kids to learn from you? Right? Either your current kids, if you have them, or your future kids. Asking those 5 questions. When you figure out the answer to those 5 questions, it's super powerful. And I just kind of highlighted them right now, but in the book it goes into way more detail. It's super powerful because you think, well, what is
my favorite teacher is have to do with what my favorite movie is, has to do with what I want to teach my kids. Everything. Like, what do I want to teach my kids? Believe. What do I teach my son Hayden? Believe. What movies do I love? About believe. What do I learn from my parents? Believe, right? And so if you answer those 5 questions and you just come up with 3 words for each one, you'll see that there is some common thread. There is some commonality, and there's a reason why you gravitate towards that teacher, not because they taught you grade 9 science, because they made you a better person. Why? What in that did they make you better at? That's the thing that you still need right now today, just on a bigger scale. And so answering those questions and seeing what words keep coming up over and over and over again, that's at the essence of who you are, of who you want to be. That's the best version of you. That's your who. That's your one word most important core value. And it's one of the most important exercises that you can ever do in your life.
Rule number 4, change your perspective.
The difference between you hating and loving your life is perspective. As Marcus Aurelius said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. That negative situation that you're facing right now will define you. Either you succumb to it and you hate your life forever, or you rise above it and it becomes the greatest blessing of all time. The choice is yours, and I'm going to show you how to conquer it. So you may have noticed that I have this armband on, this really colorful armband. What's the story? I have this on as a reminder to stay in a beautiful state. It's a reminder to myself every day. Now, naturally, I'm pretty optimistic and happy and positive, and I've trained and worked on myself to be even more optimistic and happy and positive, and consume things that make me even more happy and optimistic and positive. But there's still some times that I feel negative. There's still some times that I'm not proud of myself. The classic example for me is when I get interrupted. If I'm working on something and I'm in the zone and I'm focused and I'm building momentum and somebody interrupts me, I can be really short. I can be really rude. I'm not gonna say anything offensive or something that I would regret, but I could be short and rude. And I wanna change that. I don't want anything to knock me out of my beautiful state. At least that's my ambition, that's my intention, that's my goal. If I can get closer to it, I'll be pumped. It's the perspective shift. And so part of my daily routine is I put this on. I don't sleep with this on. At night I'll take it off, and then part of my morning routine is I'll put this on, and it's a reminder as I put it on that I want to stay in a beautiful state today, that I might get interrupted, but I want to be proud of how I deal with it. And then I look at it every day. It's hard not to, right? It's not just some little tiny, wristband. It's giant. And it's colorful and it stands out, and it's a reminder every day as I'm typing, I see it there, I go, yeah, beautiful state, let's go. It also something that when I'm talking to people, they'll ask me about it. Because it's a conversation piece. Why am I doing it, right? People are curious, they wanna know. And so every time somebody asks me about it, it's a chance to tell the story again. And in telling that story, even now as I'm telling this story, it reinforces for me, this is why I have it on. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing. And so having some kind of trigger that brings that up, it really works for me. I think it could work for you as well. But there's a 3-step process that I follow that I'm gonna teach you that I hope helps. Step number 1 is understand that your purpose comes from your pain. This thing that you're struggling with, if it's overwhelming and all-consuming and really negative, is actually probably the greatest gift of all time. Like, your purpose comes from your pain. The thing that you struggled with the most in life will be the thing that you help people with for the rest of your life. I love helping entrepreneurs because I struggled so much as an entrepreneur. If I didn't struggle as much as an entrepreneur, I wouldn't be doing this. I'd be doing something else. The thing that saved me from my business, from the worst day when I told my partner that I quit, the thing that saved me and kept me going was I modeled success. I looked at Bill Gates, how he started his company, because he was software, I was software. I learned from him and I started growing my company. That was when I was 20 years old. I'm almost 40, 20 years later now. What do I teach people? How to model success. For the past 20 years, I've helped how many people? I don't know, 300 million people plus have seen my content across my channels. That's a crazy number. All because I suffered when I was 19, 20 years old. Your purpose comes from your pain. The point of having that pain is not to just sit in that pain and say, woe is me, and complain about it and feel like your life is over. No, the point of that is to see, man, I suffered so much here. I want to stop suffering for other people. There's lots of people who are currently feeling like the way you used to feel. Think about who you were a year ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. Think about the worst moment of your life, whenever that was. There's lots of people who are currently feeling like that, and you can help them. You can save them. That's your purpose. And doing that will lift you up for the rest of your life. It will never get old. Remember, your purpose comes from your pain. Step number 2 is have play bigger triggers. Play bigger triggers are things in your environment that remind you to step up into the world that you want to become a part of, that keep you from staying in the same zone you're in, that step up to the next level. And so I like having things in my environment. I encourage you to do so as well, because you might have the greatest day of all time, but you wake up tomorrow and it feels like you're starting over from scratch. You're starting over from the beginning. But when you set up your environment, it creates that trigger every day. Having Steve Jobs here and A.P. Giannini, my favorite entrepreneur, my parents, and Howard Schultz and Kanye West behind me, I set that up once, but it's a reminder every day when I walk into my office. I walk into my office, I'm looking at my computer, I'm working, I got Steve Jobs staring me down, right? I got Steve Jobs looking at me, I got A.P. Giannini here, I walk in and these people are staring me down, Evan, let's go, right? It's a reminder to me, and maybe that sounds crazy, but what is it for you? What's the thing for you? What's your play bigger trigger that you can set up once in your environment and then it happens every single day? This is a play bigger trigger, right? Why do I have this? It's a play bigger trigger to remind myself to live in a beautiful state every day. So if you're thinking about your physical environment is a great place, right? Your office, your bedroom, your car, like your physical environment. Where are you hanging out a lot in, and what can you put there as a reminder to play bigger every day? Your physical body, right? I wear this t-shirt, look at this t-shirt, right? A bird sitting on a tree is never afraid of the branch breaking because her trust is not in the branch, but in her wings. Believe in yourself, right? I wear this, like I wear my stuff for me. It's a reminder every day when I'm putting this on. And it's this shirt or the Rebel shirt or the Believe shirt. I've got a mannequin right behind the camera of my hoodie on a mannequin, because I feel like I'm a superhero every time I put on the Believe clothing. And so when I saw Green Arrow, they had the mannequins wearing the outfits, and so I wanted to have it in mind. I'll show you. Look, let's make this quick because this thing is heavy. Look at this thing. This is giant. Huh. This is bigger than life size. Look, it's bigger than me. This thing is taller than me. And wow, it just hit me in the face. So I have this in my office, right behind the camera. And I look at it. I'm a superhero. What I do is superhero work. This is a reminder. It's a play bigger trigger. That thing is heavy. So, physical environment, right? What you wear on your body, right? And then also I think about your screen time. So what's on the background of your desktop computer? What's on the background of your cell phone? Things that you're looking at every day, that when you see it, it's a reminder, I need to step up. I need to play bigger. And that's different for everybody. Maybe the statue means nothing to you. Certainly having a picture of my parents on your wall, means nothing to you. But if you can find the things that you set up once that make you feel like you come alive and put that in your environment and you look at it every day, it'll force you to think bigger. It'll pull you into a different level. Even though the rest of your environment, you can't control maybe where you're living or your community or a bunch of other stuff right now, but you can't control that. And if you do that, it'll pull you up. And then step number 3 is say it's the best. It's the best. This is what I do whenever I can't control the situation, whenever I'm stuck in something that I don't want to be a part of, then I say it's the best. And where this came from was I was on a long flight from BC to LA. I was speaking at an event. It's, 4 or 5 hour flight. And I was stuck next to this really smelly guy and I couldn't get off the plane because I'm going to miss my van. It's a sold out flight, so I got nowhere else to go. And I'm stuck next to this guy and he stank. And I'm sure he didn't want to stink, He probably just had a bunch of layovers and stopovers and still he stunk, right? And I'm complaining in my head for 8 to 15 seconds. And then I tell myself, this is the best because I'm stuck. What's my alternative? The alternative is to be unhappy for the next X number of hours as I fly to my speaking gig and then be bad on stage because I've just spent the last X number of hours being frustrated. So no, this is the best. And I turn and I breathe it in because that smelly guy is not stronger than me. And that's what I tell myself in my head. Like, this situation is not stronger than me. This situation is negative, toxic thing that you're involved in right now that you can't get out of. Long term, you're gonna break free. You're gonna get out. You're gonna do something different. But right now, you might be stuck. You may have no other choice. It's the best. It's the best. This thing is what you're most capable of. That's it. You can't handle anything more. I think this is just a warm-up. And so that's what I tell myself. This is the best. This is just a warm-up. I'm capable of way more. This smelly man does not own me. Let's go. It's the best.
Rule number 5, the last one before our very special bonus clip, enjoy the process.
And if I had to give advice to somebody to have success in any field, not just entrepreneurship, in any field, you look at the people who have the most success in any field, they enjoy the process. And too many people are attached just to the outcome. If you want to make a blockbuster hit, if you want to make a successful movie, you have to enjoy the process of making movies. As an entrepreneur, if you want to have a successful product, you want to have a great service that's making a lot of money, you want to have a huge business, whatever you define as huge or successful, then you need to enjoy the process of the work that you're doing on a day-to-day basis. And not everything is going to be amazing. You're going to have down days, but net, you have to enjoy what you're doing. You have to wake up and look forward to the day that is ahead. And too many entrepreneurs are spending 80 to 90% of their time doing stuff that they're not good at, that they don't want to be good at, that they hate because they feel they need to do it to grow their business. And only 10 to 20% of their time on the stuff that they can be genius level at. And you will not have success in any endeavor if you're only spending 10 to 20% of your time or less on the stuff that you have the potential to be the best in the world at and that you enjoy. If your goal is just to make a lot of money and you'll do whatever it takes just to make that amount of money, you'll never get there because you don't enjoy the work. Where the secret to success is enjoying the day-to-day grind because it doesn't feel like a grind, it feels enjoyable.
You love difficult things. You do. Difficult things are amazing. Difficult things are the best. Difficult things are the only way that you grow. Think about it. What's the opposite of difficult? Easy, safe, inside your comfort zone, boring. The single greatest thing that you can ever do for your confidence is teach yourself that when things get difficult, you don't shrink down, you rise to the occasion. So in my keynote presentations, I used to always use slides as well. I had PowerPoint up and I wouldn't read the text off of the slides, but I have a picture and I tell a story about it, and it would always keep me focused on where my presentation was going. And then I got offered to do a speaking gig in Paris. I was the keynote speech at this big event for this software company, and I was gonna close the show for them. And I had this idea in my head that, what if I didn't do slides? What if I spoke on stage for, I forget how long, 45 minutes to an hour, closing keynote, and I just had one slide. And it was a picture of a rabbit, because I was telling a story about trying to teach a rabbit to climb a tree. And it scared me. I thought, it's difficult. And because that's what I thought, then I had to do it. Because in my head is, well, what if I don't remember where I go? What if I forget the stories? What if I lose track of where I'm at and I'm sitting here on stage, the closing keynote, been paid all this money to come, and I just suck? And because that was the reason, then I had to do it. I had to do it. And so I said, I'm just gonna have one slide. And when the tech team said, hey, what do you want to show on screen? Here it is. It's just one slide. Yep. No videos, nope. No audio, nope. One slide, that's it. Put that up. And I practice and I practice and I practice. And because my greatest fear in the world is disappointing people, I probably over practice and had my speech down, and I went and crushed it. But even if I didn't, it was the willingness to try. It's the willingness to do difficult things. That as soon as you feel yourself playing potentially small based off of something being difficult, that means it's go time. That means you have to do it. Because teaching yourself that you think of something that's big and scary and then you crouch down and you shy away and you don't do that, that's an ongoing lesson that you are teaching yourself that you suck. You're telling yourself, if I went and said, what about doing just one slide in France, right? For my Paris keynote. What if it's just one slide and I'm scared of it and I don't do it? I'm teaching myself that I suck. That's what you do. Anytime you approach something big and you don't do it, you're telling yourself you're not capable. You're telling yourself that you suck. And so everybody else might let you off the hook. You may not even tell anybody else about this crazy idea that you have, but you playing small is not acceptable. When something is difficult, you have to attack it head on. Now I've got a 3-step process that I think will help you take on difficult challenges. Step number 1 is watch your language. Anytime you hear yourself saying difficult, scary, or hard, that means it's go time. Why are you not doing the big things in your life? Well, it's difficult, it's scary, it's hard. That's not an acceptable answer. Nope, not anymore. Not for you. You love difficult. You do scary. You embrace hard. It's the best, all of it, right? So anytime you hear yourself talking your thoughts, in your head while you're not doing something, or you actually hear it coming out of your voice, you can even tell your friends, your family, your coworkers, the people around you, say, anytime that I say difficult, scary, or hard, I want you to catch me. I want you to grab my arm and say, you just said scary. And use that as a trigger. Go time. This is go time, because most of the things you're afraid of are just disappointing people. It's failing in front of people. It's your thing not working out. Yes, don't go jumping from your balcony because it's scary, right? Like, be safe. But most of the things that you're afraid of are not actually life-threatening. Most of the things that you are afraid to take on are not actually life-threatening. And so it's go time. Difficult, scary, hard, not acceptable anymore in your vocabulary. When you hear yourself say that, think that, feel that, you have to go take action. Step number 2 is tell yourself that this is just a warm-up. Anytime you are facing a difficult situation, remind yourself, this is just the warm-up. When you feel like you're stretched to the max, when you feel like you can't handle anymore, just that mindset shift to say, this is just a warm-up. I'm capable of way more than this. This is not my max effort. I can do better. Puts you in a state of resourcefulness that will allow you to do more. People use this in the gym as an example. So when they're going to the gym and they're pushing weights or they're on their bike, when they feel defeated, when they feel that it's over, if you just tell yourself, this is just a warm-up. This is just a warm-up. I can do way more than this. What it does is it tricks your brain. It allows you to push an extra set. It allows you to go an extra 5, 10, 15 minutes on the bike. It allows you to push harder because you're telling yourself that you're capable of more. The same thing applies to your business goals, to your personal goals, to your life. When it's getting difficult, when you're on stage and your PowerPoint dies, when you're faced with this crazy situation that is outside your control, tell yourself, this is just a warm-up. I'm just getting started. I'm capable of way more than this. And step number 3 is it's the best. Because difficulties actually are the best. Because that thing that you're struggling with so much will become a story. Will become the thing that you tie your identity to. Mel Robbins being on stage in her PowerPoint failing and then having to do 5 extra minutes without any power becomes a story. It becomes the best. The challenges that you go through become the best, become the path that you can then help other people through. Humans are built to serve. Well, how are you going to serve? You're going to serve the people who are facing the same difficulties that you faced. And so without going through difficulties, you're not going to be able to serve to the fullest capacity. And so the challenges that you're going through right now are the best. You want the challenges. You don't want the boring life. And so teach yourself, this is the best. This nasty problem that I'm going through right now that I wouldn't wish upon my enemy, I wouldn't wish upon, anybody in my life, it's the best. Let's go. And it may not actually be, the best right now, whatever you're dealing with, but even just that mindset trick to say, this is the best. It puts you in a state of resourcefulness so that you can go handle the problem, so that you can make yourself proud, because that negative, toxic, difficult situation that you are facing right now will define you. Will define you. Either you succumb to it and you never get back off the mat and do it again, or you rise above it and then you help all these other people rise above it as well. Because you made it this far in a video, I want to celebrate you. Most people start and don't finish. Most people never actually follow through. Most people say they want something, but they don't ever do the work to actually get it. But you are different. You are special. Believe Nation, you made it here all the way to the end, and I love you. So as a special celebration, if you put a hashtag believe down in the comments below on this video, I will showcase you and celebrate you somewhere on the screen in a future video because you are awesome.
If you want to learn how to make mindset shift needed for success, check out the video next to me. I think you're gonna enjoy. Continue to believe. I will see you there.
Just a generic Q&A session now to help you, whatever you're struggling with. And let's open it up. So Samit's got his hand up. What do you got, man?
So I came back to the community